I've never had a time in my professional life where Americans have been more concerned about their own self-protection.
Proof that martial artists can't fight when it comes to street violence. Literally, that was an email I got when I received a picture of a Olympic Taekwondo participant, competitor, the first one from the great country of Ireland, my descendants. And there was almost glee, the person that sent it to me. They thought it was just so ironic. So here's this kid. That's him competing. And the picture that got plastered all over the media, was this. That's him on the cobblestone, just out cold. He got cold cocked by a gang of guys that came out of nowhere, women and men. He was off to a night. I think he was off to have a date, going off with a couple of friends, and they got jumped. And the kid gets knocked out. And the idiot that sent me this says, see, martial artists can't fight. All right. Well, again, that goes back to a couple years ago in Rio when we had a competitor down there, a judo competitor, great guy. He goes to celebrate and he goes to the beach at Copacabana. And hey, it wasn't, it wasn't the safest time. He went after hours and sure enough got mugged. In fact, the guy took it pretty good naturedly. Here he is, this judo competitor, and he ends up getting mugged and, loses his wallet and everything, has a black eye, and he ends up, just taking a picture. Thought it was pretty funny holding up his medal. I think he's a bronze medalist on there. But again, this proves, see, you can do it in the ring, but you can't do it on the street. Like any old street fighter took these guys out. Well, then it goes back to, I remember the story I shared with people a couple of years ago, the BJJ coach in Sao Paulo, Bruno Nunes, just an amazing guy by all accounts. Dad, he tried to stop a robbery that was going on the bus, an assault, and he, used his jiu-jitsu and he tied up the person. But what he didn't see was the other person had a knife and he got stabbed in the neck and he was taken out. Okay. So why did I decide to do this? Why did I use the title that I said, proof martial artists can't fight the street? Because that's what idiots think that don't understand violence. All right. These guys are all great competitors in what they do, good people, and they're not immune to violence. No matter how much training I've had, and I've had over 30 years, I've trained some of the best people there are to train. I've trained myself to a level that very few people train to when it comes to using violence. And guess what? I walk out that door. I catch a pipe to the back of the head. I'm walking out in a crowd and I get jumped by 4 or 5 people and cold cocked. Guess what happens to me? I go down just like everybody else. Okay, that is the reality of violence. Okay, all your training, whatever you have, gives you no immunity against violence. Violence is only good if you're the one doing it to the other person. So while you're cheering on whatever idiotic point you're trying to make, maybe that you think that your reality system or whatever bullshit you train is somehow going to keep you immune. Taking pot shots at young competitors like this or a BJJ practitioner, just a multi-level, competitor, just great guy that gets killed on a bus, and somehow trying to use that as proof, quote unquote, that they can't take care of themselves. It's just not it. Listen, the environment will dictate what tools you need. The environment will dictate how you should operate. Okay? Not everybody is trained to think that way. That's why I highly encourage you if you have not done it yet, to take my free masterclass. Go to timlarkin.com and sign up for it. Is it because if these guys had TFT, they somehow would have, miraculously not, gotten hit? No, that's not the case. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is the assumptions made when we train people are the same things that you're going to be facing out on the street. Assuming multiple attackers, we assume they're bigger, faster, and stronger than you. We assume they carry weapons. Okay? We also assume that you're going to need situational awareness. And our goal is to make sure that we set you up for a life that minimizes the chance that violence ever enters it. So listen, in the future, folks, save it. If you want to take some pot shot and send me some picture of some poor guy that got jumped, beaten, and you want to dance on that, for whatever reason, just save it. You're an idiot. Go somewhere else. Get off this channel. If you want to learn and you want to understand why violence works and why you need to know how that tool works, then stick with us. I'll be more than happy to keep sharing you great information and also other great subject matter experts. All right. Until next time, please share the channel. Let people know that we are operating and that we're around. Please share your favorite video. And until next time, stay safe.